Title, Whispers of Summer. Chapter 1, A Return to Willow Creek. The warm June sun filtered through the canopy of old oak trees lining the winding road into Willow Creek. Claire Bennett tightened her grip on the steering wheel of her rented SUV, a strange mix of nostalgia and anxiety pooling in her stomach. 10 years had passed since she left this sleepy little town nestled in the hills of North Carolina. 10 years since she had walked away from the only boy she had ever truly loved. She told herself she was over it, over him. But returning for her grandmother's funeral had stirred up feelings she thought were long buried. The Bennett farmhouse came into view, its wraparound porch and peeling white paint exactly as she remembered. She parked the SUV, stepped out, and inhaled the scent of honeysuckle and cut grass. It was like nothing had changed except everything had. Inside, the air was thick with dust and memories. Photographs lined the hallway, frozen moments of her childhood, her parents, her grandmother smiling in every frame. Claire drifted from room to room, finally landing in the kitchen where sunlight spilled over the checkered tablecloth and a familiar voice startled her. "Claire." She turned sharply, heart racing. Standing in the doorway was Ethan Walker, tall, broad-shouldered, with the same messy brown hair and piercing green eyes that had haunted her dreams for a decade. He was holding a basket of fresh produce, his eyes widening with surprise. "Ethan," she breathed, unable to disguise the tremor in her voice. He set the basket down slowly. "I didn't know you were coming back today." Claire folded her arms, trying to steady herself. "Just got in. I wanted to come early, get things ready for the service." He nodded, his eyes searching hers. "Your grandma meant a lot to this town." "She meant a lot to me too." There was a silence between them, heavy with things left unsaid. Finally, Ethan cleared his throat. "I've been helping around the house since she got sick. Figured I'd keep the garden going." Claire gave a small smile. "She always said you had the best tomatoes in the county." He chuckled. "Still do." Their eyes met again, and for a moment, it felt like the years had vanished. But they hadn't. Claire was no longer the girl who believed love could conquer all. She was older now. Wiser. Or at least, she thought she was. Chapter 2, Ghosts in the Garden. Claire spent the next day sorting through her grandmother's belongings. Each item told a story: a quilt sewn from old dresses, a box of letters tied with ribbon, the scent of lavender still clinging to every drawer. Grief washed over her in waves, but beneath it all was a strange sense of peace. Being back in Willow Creek felt like slipping into a familiar pair of shoes. In the afternoon, she wandered into the backyard garden. The rows were neat, vibrant with tomatoes, cucumbers, and bell peppers. She knelt beside a row of lavender, her fingers brushing the fragrant blooms. "Thought I'd find you here," came Ethan's voice. Claire looked up, shielding her eyes from the sun. He stood with a watering can, dressed in worn jeans and a faded t-shirt. She couldn't help but notice how effortlessly he fit into this place. "It's beautiful," she said. "You've done a great job." He shrugged, modest. "She taught me everything I know." They worked side by side for a while, pulling weeds and sharing memories. Slowly, the wall between them began to crack. Claire found herself laughing at Ethan's stories, marveling at how easily they fell back into rhythm. "You ever think about coming back?" he asked casually, not meeting her eyes. She hesitated. "I have a life in Chicago. A job. Friends. But is it home?" he asked, glancing at her now. She didn't answer, because she wasn't sure. Chapter 3, The Dance. The night of the memorial service, the town gathered at the community center. People brought casseroles, told stories, and hugged Claire like she'd never left. The room buzzed with warmth and laughter, a true celebration of a life well lived. Later, as dusk fell and the fireflies came out, someone brought out a Bluetooth speaker and started playing old country tunes. Couples danced beneath the string lights strung across the lawn. Ethan approached Claire, holding out his hand. "Dance with me." She hesitated, then slipped her hand into his. He pulled her close, and they moved together slowly, the world fading away. "Remember the prom?" he murmured. Claire smiled. "You wore a suit 2 sizes too big. You wore blue." I couldn't stop staring. She rested her head against his chest, heart aching with old love. "Why didn't you come after me?" she whispered. Ethan was silent for a moment. "Because you asked me not to. And I thought, maybe you needed to find something bigger than Willow Creek." She looked up at him. "Maybe I did. But I think I lost something too." Chapter 4, Cracks in the Surface. Over the next week, Claire found herself spending more time with Ethan. They fell into an easy companionship, working in the garden, sharing meals, walking along the creek. But as the days passed, the weight of reality settled in. Claire's return to Chicago loomed like a storm cloud. "You're leaving soon," Ethan said one morning, breaking the silence. She nodded. "I have to. There's a gallery opening I can't miss." He didn't hide his disappointment. "So that's it?" Claire's voice was barely a whisper. "What do you want me to say, Ethan?" "That you still love me. That you want to stay." She looked away, tears brimming. "I do love you. But I don't know if love is enough." Ethan stepped closer. "Maybe it is. Maybe it's everything." But Claire couldn't give him an answer. Not yet. Chapter 5, Whispers of Summer. The day of her departure arrived. The suitcase sat by the door, the house silent. Claire stood on the porch, staring at the fields bathed in morning light. Ethan pulled up in his truck, climbed out slowly. "One last goodbye." She nodded. They walked to the garden, the scent of lavender thick in the air. "I used to think life was about finding the biggest adventure," Claire said. "But maybe the real adventure is letting yourself be known. Truly known." Ethan took her hand. "You don't have to go." She looked into his eyes and saw not just the boy she had loved, but the man he had become. Steady. Strong. Waiting. Claire exhaled slowly. "I cancelled my flight." His eyes widened. She smiled. "I'm not ready to leave. Not this time." And under the warm summer sun, as the cicadas hummed and the garden bloomed around them, Claire and Ethan kissed a kiss that promised a future born from the whispers of summer and the love that had never truly faded.